So one of the most common questions I've been getting recently as a result of running these Lost Mine of Phandelver Dungeon Master tutorials is, how do you make the printed maps, okay, that are in the Lost Mine of Phandelver? Because there's a bunch of maps there, they're quite large, and a lot of people would like to print them out to scale to use in their game. And so what I'm going to suggest to you is the following. It's expensive, it is a bit time consuming, and expensive is probably the next thing I'm going to say. Okay, so here is what I did. I took the high resolution maps that I downloaded from D&D Beyond, and you can get them for free now. You don't have to pay for them, you don't have to search the internet, nothing like that. Just download them, put them onto a pen drive or a flash drive or something that you can take to a print shop or a stationery shop where they can do printing for you, and you want printing in large scale. We're not dealing with A4 size here, okay? It has to be a proper print shop where you can print at a large scale. Take it to them, make sure you put it on a flash drive or a memory stick of some kind that is new. Don't give them an old one covered in viruses, because they don't like that. And they will probably be asking, the very first thing is this a new memory stick or a new flash drive or whatever? So make sure you do that. You probably could put it onto a memory card if you've got a memory card, but I think a flash drive is probably the easiest thing that they can deal with. You can still buy them, it's not old technology, it's still around. Once you've done that, there are 3 maps that you can print out really easy. And the first one is Cragmaw Hideout. Then the next one is Cragmaw Castle. And the last one is the Redbrand Hideout. Now you get them to take that file and fit it to the size you want. And the size that you want is a A1 size. It's enormous. It's very large. Okay, it just about covers my entire desk. Now, if you get it fitted to that size, you don't have to do anything else. It's pretty good. It's pretty close to the correct scale, and you'll be able to put the miniatures in the squares and it will fit. And because each square represents 5 feet, you've got what you want. Now, if you're going to reuse the maps, make sure you pick the best quality paper you can, because it will get a bit of wear and tear on it. If you're going to reuse the maps, I would get it laminated, which is what I did, because I'm going to be reusing mine constantly for the next year, 2, 3, who knows how long, for however long I need to do this. And so I laminate. Do not pick a gloss finish. Go with matte, because it just gets rid of the glare, and the glare will be a pain for you. It's a pain for me because of cameras, but it's going to be a pain for you when the light from above is flooding it, and you can't quite make things out because you've been hit with the glare. Now, there are 2 other maps that you're probably wondering about, like how do I print them to scale and make them work? The problem is the scaling and the size of those maps. The first one I'm going to mention is the Ruins of Thunder Tree. Each square represents 10 feet, not 5 feet, which means that it needs to be significantly larger. So when I printed my map out, I actually printed it on an A1 size, which is not to scale. If you want it to scale, you unfortunately need to cut the map in half. Okay, so if you think of it as horizontally, cut the map, go and use some sort of like paint. You can crop it and create 2 copies, and that's what you're going to put onto the pen drive, and you get them to fit them to an A1 size. But you need to cut it directly in half. It will work then, and it should be roughly the right size for what you want. That's the Ruins of Thunder Tree. So you need to actually have 2 A1 size maps to actually make it work, because it's that big, it's huge. It's not like the other maps. That's a lot of expense. The last one, which I know people are going to ask me, is Wave Echo Cave. The problem is, if you print it to scale, it is 6 feet by 8 feet. That's right. Look, I don't use Imperial, but I know it's enormous. I cannot put it anywhere. I've got nowhere. It would take up my whole lounge. It's ridiculous. So if you're going to do that, you would have to cut that map into 6 pieces. I looked at how easy that was to do. It's not. Then even if you cut it into 6 pieces, you have to print each map on an A1 size page, like A1 size for all those sections. It's utterly ridiculous. The only thing I've done is my map that I've printed is not to scale for Wave Echo Cave. It's printed to just barely fit on my desk. It doesn't. It actually oversits it a little bit. And it's actually printed at A0, which is very, very large. Like A0 is extremely big. It doesn't fit on my desk. And trying to get the camera to capture it is, I mean, you probably don't even have a table big enough to put it on. Unless, of course, you have a big family of like 6 or 8 people and it's long and so forth.